President Joe Biden yesterday became the first sitting president in history, as far as anybody's been able to dig up, to join striking workers on a picket line. Certainly, at least from an optics perspective, one of the most pro-labor actions of any sitting president. We'll discuss the record in a moment. Obviously, we can talk about words and we can talk about actions. We can talk about optics versus legislation, and we will. But a very interesting moment, of course, in contrast with Donald Trump not being welcomed by the UAW workers because Trump is not actually pro-union. Trump will still go to Michigan today. Listen to this. Trump's going to Michigan to try to associate himself with the union fight by visiting a non-union shop. It's completely bonkers, cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. But Joe Biden showing up and telling the workers, you guys saved the automobile industry.
The fact of the matter is that you guys, the UAW, you saved the automobile industry back in 2008 and before. Made a lot of sacrifices, gave up a lot, and the companies were in trouble. But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well too. Wall Street didn't build the country, the middle class built the country. Unions built the middle class. That's a fact. So let's keep going. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. Thank you very much.
And listen, the Biden straight up saying you deserve what you earn and you deserve more. This is a decidedly I'm on the side of the workers move by Joe Biden. And the contrast with someone like Trump hanging out at gold-plated Mar-a-Lago with people who can afford to spend 10 grand to sit at Trump's table or even at the next table over. The contrast really could not be more stark. The president of the UAW, United Auto Workers, Shawn Fain, also, as far as he knows, a historic moment with Biden being the first sitting president ever to do what Biden did yesterday, joining strikers on the picket line. Oh no, and this clip is glitching. We've had trouble with this clip all day. It's just, I think Antifa might be running the clips. Let's see.
This is a historic moment, the first time in our country's history that a sitting USA president has came out and stood on the picket line.
And more from Joe Biden about the importance of labor and workers and the idea that despite the fact that the workers often don't get the credit, it's the workers who actually built the country through their work. Here is Joe Biden once again.
Part of this fight, and let's get back to winning solidarity for all of our members and economic and social justice for all of our members.
Heard me say it many times. Wall Street didn't build the country, the middle class built the country. Unions built the middle class. That's a fact. So let's keep going. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. Thank you very much.
All right, so this is not nothing. It's notable, but it is not policy. That's a fair criticism. One can look at this and say, all right, well, no sitting president has ever done this before, and Joe Biden did, and that's very nice. And Joe Biden is praising the workers and saying we built the country on your labor and saying you've earned what you've been paid and you deserve to be paid even more. That's fine. But this is not actually policy. That's fair. What has Joe Biden actually done when it comes to policy to support labor? Well, first of all, we shouldn't diminish the platform that a president has. So the idea that words are nothing when you're the president, we have to get away from that. When Trump used his words to attack workers, it was something, even if it wasn't policy. And when Joe Biden uses his words and the bully pulpit to support workers, that's also something. So using the platform to advocate for labor rights and encouraging state and local governments and private companies to adopt pro-labor practices, coming down on the side of striking workers, that is actually not nothing when a president does it. But look at some of the policy from the Biden administration. None of it's perfect, but the bipartisan infrastructure law expected to create hundreds of thousands of what are often known as blue collar jobs. That's a big deal. The Inflation Reduction Act and what it does to foment and create renewable energy jobs, which quite frankly, if we look 10 to 12 years down the line, are going to be even more widespread than they are today, probably better paid, and arguably will better prepare workers for jobs in other industries going forward. That's a really big deal. Executive order requiring federal contractors to pay at least $15 an hour. Unfortunately, this week, that's now being held up. That it may get taken out by courts, unfortunately, but Joe Biden tried it. He did put that executive order in place, appointing pro-labor officials to key positions. A great example is a former Boston Mayor Marty Walsh as Secretary of Labor. Biden supported the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, also known as the PRO Act, which was passed by the House in 2021, ultimately stalled in the Senate. The PRO Act would strengthen labor laws, make it easier for workers to form unions and bargain collectively. This is real stuff. There's a White House task force on worker organizing and empowerment, which is working on how can we encourage while also protecting workers from blowback if they try to organize or bargain collectively. So I don't know that I'm yet ready to say Biden is the most pro-labor president, at least in the modern political era. I don't know that I'm ready to say that to you today with peace and love, but it's certainly getting very close, and it's getting more and more difficult to find a more pro-labor president than Joe Biden. Is it enough? It's never enough. Could he do more? You can always do more. By the standards and expectations set over the recent 40, 50 years, is this pretty good? Pretty good overall. Yeah, it's pretty good. And Joe Biden showing up at the picket line is the latest. And you really do love to see it.